I'd like to welcome you along to our second annual, we hope it's annual anyway, Q&A for our festival. If there's any chance that any of you near the bar could maybe just keep it down a wee bit so that we can, not for me, but so we can listen to our guests once we get the questions underway, we'd really appreciate that. So welcome along, thank you all for joining us, and thanks for hopefully a bit of participation maybe as we go along. More importantly, a warm welcome to our guests. The evening we're going to split into, like we did last year, two parts. First part we're going to talk to some current drivers that are competing at this year's festival. Who can believe it's the 54th edition of the Formula Ford Festival and the 50th here at Brands Hatch? Amazing. And then the second part, we've got some legends, as we're calling them, not legends cars, but legends of Formula Ford joining us. 6 on stage and another one via screen, and we'll come to that a little bit later on, but I'm sure we're going to have some good anecdotes as we go along. So the format for the first part, I'm going to get our 6 current drivers up, and then we'll ping some questions at them. If you've got any questions yourselves, feel free to raise your hands as we go along. We'll try and get the mic out and get the question from you, or alternatively get you up here to get you as part of this evening's presentation. So, I'd like to give each of these drivers a really nice warm welcome in no particular order. The first driver to come up, one of our heat winners today, Jason Smyth. Well done, Jason, grab a chair. These guys all get, it's kind of like a coconut show, isn't it, when we get everybody up there eventually. So Jason's here, second, and another heat winner. Give it up for Tom Nippers. Thank you guys very much for joining us. And our third current star is Callum Grant. Well done, Callum, thanks for joining us. Next up, one of our pro class drivers again, Michael Fitzgerald. Nice to see you, Michael. Thank you, mate, thanks for coming up. 2 to go, who have we got? I'm told the next guy's really nervous about going up on stage, so please give him a very warm welcome, Andy Charsley! Is he going to make it? He's on his way, we can see. Thanks, Andy. Well, mate. So there's Andy, and our final guest for our first stint, giving up for Leroy Stewart. That's a good noise, well done. Good to see you, Leroy. Thanks for coming, mate. One of the drivers, take a mic, we'll switch it on, make sure it works. Going to go to Leroy first as you were first up there. He's on, we'll give it a test. If you hold it quite close. 1, 2, 1, 2. Can everybody hear Leroy? We'll do that again. 1, 2, 1, 2. Everybody here? More or less, okay, that's good stuff. Okay, so I've got some questions. We did manage to ask around and about in the community on social media for some questions we've got. And I'll fire off with, where am I needing to point the mic to get this heard? Okay, I think
and we're gonna watch. I said, I'm not. I called Bernard to, did you have a car left? And he had a car, rented it. Yeah, and that's where we are now. So yeah, I didn't have any preparation before that. So just went in, and last time in Formula 4 was 2009, and I was runner-up.
Well, it's good to have you back, and warm welcome. As you can see, we had a quick change of sound, so hopefully that's a little bit easier. So thank you very much, Leroy. Welcome. We'll get to another question in a moment. I'm going to ping up this end because Jason's now got the live mic. We hope it works, Jason. The question we got scripted here, quite a good one again. What's it like following your dad into the festival lineup?
Yeah, that's one thing that's always going to follow me is Dad winning the festival, so I'll have to wrap it up this year so I can shut him up.
And good start to the weekend though, wasn't it, today? Does it take the pressure off a little bit?
Even though it was a good day today, we had slow heat because it was wet, so our work's really cut out for us. Tomorrow we need to pass Rory and Niall to have a chance at winning, so it's cut out for us, but it's nothing I can't do.
Nice one, thanks very much, Jason. If you could pass the baton along, as it were, to Tom. Tom, the question we've got here is, what's the minimum result? This might be a corny question. What's the minimum result that you would expect at the festival?
I mean, expect a weird one because I'm not too sure what I necessarily expect, but obviously I want to win it. That's the aim. We won the heat today, and Jason's saying he was the slowest because it rained or whatever. I'm not so sure. I think it was I'm not sure that was why. But there's a lot of work left to do tomorrow. I think we were the third fastest heat, so and I think we're going to be starting second. So we've got to try and make some ground tomorrow and give the win a go, because at the end of the day in the festival there's no points in second place. So shootout competition, you've got to go and try and win it.
It makes that difference, doesn't it, just being the one-off rather than an all-season long thing. So a different complexion when we get to.
You treat it completely differently because it's like today, I'm starting second in that heat. You can look at it as like trying to get through, but at the end of the day, if you're going to win it, you've got to win these heats. You've got to win the semi-finals, because otherwise you're not going to be close enough. So it's do or die the whole way through, and that's the way I look at it at the moment. Honestly.
Nice one. We'll come back to the format a little bit later on, but we'll pass the baton along to our third driver, Callum Grant. Your first question. This is about a return to Brands Hatch for the... Are we going to start singing or chanting? Have we got a Callum Grant chant? That would be quite good, wouldn't it? Obviously, Super Classic A, so I guess we might be looking at the Brian Jones Trophy. I haven't seen the grid for that yet, so how does that pan out for tomorrow?
I think we're starting fourth, I believe. See what happens. Can't predict anything, can you?
You definitely can't, but obviously strong in the heat as well today, so you were quite modest in saying about conditions. You've still got to negotiate those, haven't you?
Yeah, I'll be rain dancing tomorrow morning, that's for sure.
Yeah, who wants rain tomorrow? No! Well, we get what we get. It might be a little bit hit and miss. It might be, like a few years ago where it absolutely drowns. Callum, if you could pass along again, we'll go to Michael Fitzgerald next up. Michael, welcome along. Not a lot of people will know your background. Could you tell everybody what you do out of the car?
Yeah, so look, I'm a really, really pathetic trier. My love life was like my racing career, like a 100% cosplay. I've been lucky enough to race in Australia and in Ireland, and I'm really lucky to have found a home with BM this year. I wish I'd found them 20 years ago. But I'm really lucky to have raced against Jason's dad, against Jordan's dad, admittedly at the other side of the grid. But I've followed all the legends in this room for the last 20, 25 years. And it's just great to see the faces, and it's great to see the pedigree and the history alive in this room. It's pretty cool.
It's a mega event, isn't it? And every year it's something we look forward to. The thing I was alluding to, a life in the film industry.
Yeah, so I make sci-fi films. I've got a spaceship in a shade back in Ireland. I'm not joking. And I used to have a beard, but I got a job as a lieutenant colonel in a TV show last month in Ireland, so they've got no beards in the army, so the beard had to go.
Hopefully we'll see the beard back next year. Good reason to get you back on stage. Maybe we'll touch on that a little bit later on, but if you could pass down to Andy Stapley.
Who told you to say that?
Andy, sorry that it's weird the way this worked out, that you ended up being the last person we speak to first, which is weird, but we've told you a little bit nervous about it. We got some rotten questions here, so let's get them out of the way. The first one is...
Anything to do with Alan?
Pass. You're not quite as young as you once used to be. Do you still have to add ballast to reach the weight limit?
Yes, absolutely. No, this week I've lost weight, ready for the festival. But,
right.
Yeah, no, I'm always heavy.
And the second question is a two-part one, this one. What is the torque setting on the flywheel bolts? Do you want to explain that one?
Okay, so we're not sure how it happened, but the flywheel came off halfway through testing on Wednesday, and the front pulley came off as well. So it was obviously my fault for tightening the bolts up, but I've had a really busy few weeks. So, yeah, I've got no idea. But it all went loose anyway, so but it's all back together again now, apart from crashing today and having to go back in a minute to repair it with all the team.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a late one. Alan's stepped in and got someone from his work to repair the wishbones that I've just broken. So we're going to have a late night trying to get it out for tomorrow. Because no one's got any spares for a 92 Ray.
Right.
Apart from buying his car, which is actually my 92 championship winning car.
Was it really?
The Joseph's car, yeah. So, yeah, he won't go home and pick it up for me though, so I was going to do a body work. It's been done in the past at the festival where cars have been swapped over just by bodywork. Everyone knows that.
Grid position for the Brian Jones historic final tomorrow?
Well, because I crashed in the heat, I've got no idea. I'm at the back of something, but I don't know what.
Assuming the repairs, where would you like to finish?
I've just got to win it.
From the back, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, should we have a bit of festival magic?
If it's wet, there's always a chance. But speed-wise, in the dry, I don't know. Yeah, I suppose second.
Nice. We wish you well. Andy, thanks for that. If you can hand over to Leroy again, the second question for Leroy. Tell us about the year, festival with Chrissy Palmer. Tell us about that year and that battle.
Yeah, it was a great battle. I leaded the race, I think, for 18 laps the final. Actually, I started the first heat 7th, and I became 3rd. And then the half final came on, and I leaded that race. And in the last lap, the other Dutch guy went over me flying, and I became 2nd. And then I had to start 3rd in the final, I think. And I had a mint start, and I went to the first place, and I leaded the race for over 18 laps. But Chrissy was banging my back on the straights for every lap. So the wishbone was bent, and going down to the Graham Hill corner, I speak in like turn 1, 2, 3, you know.
Most
So turn 3.
Oh no, that one's Damon.
Damon? Okay, yeah. Who's that guy? No, not joking. So, yeah, I make the mistake, he passed me, and then I was getting him back, you know, pushing him, but he didn't make a mistake, so I went in 2nd in the final, so yeah, that actually went pretty well, yeah.
That was good. A memorable one for sure. You obviously went up into F3, but as we spoke about earlier on, F4 managed to lure you back, but the fact remains that Formula Ford was a springboard, a good step for you to move up.
I think I never, after Formula Ford, I never should have done more Formula cars. I've been better off doing like Porsche or GT cars.
Okay.
Because you're just spending more money.
Yeah.
And in GT cars you can make money, especially in America. yeah, I should have done that, so I regret that, to go into Formula 3 or Formula Renault 2 liters. I've been second in the North European Cup as well, in the championship. And then I did some Clio's. I did stock car Formula 2 for some races.
Oh, is that in Holland?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
We won the World Cup with my car, what I built.
Nice.
But that's too crazy.
So presumably Chrissy Palmer taught you about the contact for the stock cars?
Yeah. I'm not fair of contact, you know. I like that, you know. Racing is rubbing, you know.
That's good, nice one. We're going to get back down to the end here, and I'm just having a look to see how we're going time-wise. I can't believe we've been going quarter of an hour already. We've got to be mindful of the time to get our legends on. Question for each of you in turn, so if you could pass the baton down, Jason. Who would you least like to go head-to-head with out of the other drivers on the panel, and why? You know it's a good question when there's a pause in the answer, don't you?
No, nobody really, to be honest. I think our pace has been really good and tested and everything like that in the dry-in, so I think I'm fairly confident going into tomorrow, so we'll just have to let the on-track do the talking, so yeah.
Good lad. Same question for Tom. The great thing is the others get more time to think about the answer now and get to listen to the others, so well done for being the first one to have it. Tom?
What was it against?
Question is, who would you least like to come up against one-to-one in the, let's say in the final?
Myself. No, probably Jason. I mean, he has looked good all year. Like, he has, you know, in terms of the pace, we gave it our best in the United to keep up with him. We couldn't. We've made strides forward. We've had issues all year, but yeah. Tomorrow we'll tell. You know, tomorrow's the big one. Tomorrow's the one everyone cares about, and we'll have to wait and see. So, yeah.
Nice answer again. Callum, same question.
If I'm racing these guys tomorrow, I'll be over the moon. So, any of them.
That's good. How about you, Michael?
I think we'd have to go head-to-head with Nipper's Instagram accounts. I don't actually know who's in my race, so I've got no idea.
Who would you pick from back in the day?
What day? 40 years ago?
Any day, say more than 10 years ago, Andy.
Yeah, Rick. Yeah, I'd have to say Rick, because I never raced him in the day, and it's such a pleasure to race him now.
Nice.
So we've been together like today.
I was going to say, can I interrupt you for a minute? Let's have a big cheer for Rick Morris.
Yeah.
Do it. Rick was up here with us last year, of course, so sorry to interrupt. But
No worries. Yeah, so we had a little battle last year at the festival, which was good fun, and he's still at it, isn't he? I mean, he's 107 now, and he's really going strong. He only looks about 60 now. Yeah.
Final question, Leroy, who would you most fear perhaps going up against tomorrow?
The guy next to me. We are the same weight, I think. Let's hope for rain, and we will be 1 and 2.
Okay, very good. How are we doing? We're nearly 20 minutes in. So what we're going to do is just take a little breather. I'll do one more question, but before we do the question, we've got a couple of special awards to make this evening. And the first of those, if you can listen up, is a really special one. If I come back round to the front, because so we're on camera, because we are streaming. Hello if you streamed in, and thanks very much for joining us this evening. Two special presentations. The first one we'll do now, the second one we'll do with our Legends group as well. Can I have a volunteer to make the presentation? Is Jason going to do the honours? He's been... so on the panel we'll do a quick vote. Who thinks Jason should do it? Yeah, that's okay, overwhelming. Carried by committee, we love that. Well done, Jason. So the... Oh, I think that's the wrong one, actually. We're going to do the... Yep. Can we do that one instead? Okay, we'll do this one now. Okay, so this is going to lead into our Legends bit a little bit later on. But for an outstanding contribution to Formula Ford 1600. Someone hopefully we'll hear a little bit more from in the Legends section. Frank Bradley. The only thing is, it's a long walk round, isn't it? It's like those awards nights where someone's at the back. Frank, lovely to meet you. And congratulations on this award project. Nice thing to do, nice connection, and... Frank, we'll catch up with you a little bit later on with the Legends panel, but thanks for joining us. Thank you very much. And thank you, Jason, for doing the honours. Well done, everybody. Okay, so if somebody got a really good question that we can ask each of the panellists, stick your hand up if you have. If you're not, we'll go for one. We've got one over here. So whether this will work or not, we'll see.
Can you ask Callum, when's he going to pay for his own racing?
Didn't quite meet the brief, did it? Go on, Callum.
When he gives me the company.
Oh dear, okay. Right, one final question, again festival related, we'll just ping back. I think all of you have some idea of several years when you've been here. Well, when has been your most memorable visit to Brands? It can be as a spectator, as a racer, festival or non-festival. And we'll start once again with Jason Smyth.
Yeah, I think there's only one answer for this, is when Dad won the Formula Ford Festival in 2010. So yeah, so hopefully we can try and recreate that.
Yeah, I'm not going to top that. That's a tough one. Honestly, I was going down a whole different path. It was, yeah, I don't even know if I can say what I was going to say now. Yeah, well, we've got previous years. I mean, we've come here. I think the first time I did it was special because obviously came knowing how big the event was, and we were terrible all year. And then went out and got a podium in the first seat, and it was like the first positive moment we'd had at Formula Ford. And yeah, and when it was, you know, you come to such a big event, and that's when you decide to have a good day. It was a nice feeling. So I'd probably say that. Sorry,
Nice one. And on to Callum again.
I suppose I have to say when I drove Simon Langman's RF80 the other year, the team down here. But that was fantastic. Teamwork, friends, all coming together to get a car out, and we managed to get a podium in the historic race, which was a great weekend. And the cakes just kept on coming.
Nice one, thanks so much, Callum. Michael, your moment.
Yeah, my favourite moment this year. I'm back here again with BM and had a fantastic time last year. And just to go back again, was hard to take.
Nice one. Thank you, Michael. Andy Charlesley, there's got to be a few to pick from.
Yeah, I can't remember how many there is, but one was probably 88, 89, where I had my probably biggest chance when did I have the... I can't remember what car it was in, but it was one of the Rays. And we were sort of third, fourth... I don't know, it was 92 actually when Magnussen won it.
Right.
And that was probably our best chance, but I got wiped out in the semi-final, so we were doing really well. But it's the luck of the festival. Every year you're either going to bin it or win it, unfortunately, but I still do it because of this is the only place, especially the Kentagon, the memories of Brian Jones and all those people who have made my racing career really proud, really. All the people come together every year, all these faces. We would have been in here last year, but they closed early. But I think Alan's really sorted that out this year. So yeah, the organisers and all the people, all the faces we see every year is so special for every festival, and I hope it continues for forever. Yeah.
Nice one, Will. Well said, Andy Charlesley. If you can hand over to Leroy, you got to follow that now, Leroy. Best moment for you at Brands?
Yeah, I think 2009 when I was runner-up was good, but I liked also the years that Wayne Boyd and Nick Tandy went there, you know, went back with his white helmet, you know. if you lose from a guy with a white helmet. You know, it's not possible. So yeah, I like that, you know. And when I come here, I see also the motorsport family. I like that in England. There's a good motorsport economy in England. Everybody in Holland, you have to have like a VIP tent and with food and everything, like a disco in it. And here people are coming with their own chairs and to watch. They appreciate the drivers. So I like that very much. And there's a lot of marshals here. And also they do it unpaid. So yeah, I really want to thank them all. Without them, racing
Nice one. I've got to say, really special that the answers are absolutely spot on, guys. Thank you so much for a complete set of really different and meaningful answers. Give it up for our current driver panel. Best of luck tomorrow, James. All the very best to you, and thank you for joining us. We'll nick the mic back. Thanks, mate. Very well done. Okay, thank you. So, we're going to move on to our second part of the evening. If the microphone doesn't roll away, I'll tell you what, I'll hang on to it. It's probably easier, isn't it? Or get the missus to hang on to it for a minute. So the second part of the evening is our Legends section. So some names from the past that you'll very well know. Some you might not, but hopefully an opportunity to learn about those people. First of all, we give a warm welcome to the stage, Brian Graham. We've got the long walk round again. Brian's making his way, I think, towards us. That'll be difficult to get through. Here we are. The good thing is Brian gets the choice of seats, so you can pick out wherever you go. If you go in the middle, you'll be all right. Thank you very much for coming. Lovely to see you. And our second time actually on the bounce, because he joined the panel last year. Went very well indeed. Lovely to welcome back Martin Donnelly. And now, of course, we're getting into the stage where we're drivers that I remember watching when I was a season ticket holder back in the day, listening to the great Brian Jones commentating over the years. Good to see you, Mark. Thanks for agreeing to do this again. We really appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much. And joining Martin on stage is Josh Smyth. Lovely to see you, Josh. Well done. Missing you on track, of course, but wonderful to see you on stage. Thanks for joining us. Next up, a name that was really part of my spectator journey, if you want to call it that, and a driver that used to support regularly here at Brands in the Champion of Brands series back in the day. It's Rick Shortle. Nobody wants the end seats, if you notice that. That's always the way, isn't it? So, following Rick Shortle, a gentleman we've already had the pleasure of meeting, but we'll get to talk to him now. Would you welcome to the stage Frank Bradley? Thanks for agreeing to this one, Frank, very much indeed. And finally, I'm sure we're going to get a nice warm reaction for Bernard Dolan. We tried to get him last year, but we got him this year. Well done. Thanks for coming up. Nice one. So we'll grab the mic. And we'll do it end to end, and we'll have a quick chat with Frank first, probably appropriately. First of all, the award very well deserved, and congratulations and thank you for being a rich part of Formula Ford 1600s and motorsport in general's history over the years.
Motorsport's been incredibly good to me. I started in 1969, Jim Russell's, went to Eldon's, wound up owning Eldon's, got out of Eldon's, then I've been Formula 2000 for years. But all in all, it's been fantastic. you meet great people, you have a fantastic time, and all I can say, the one person I've really got to thank is Peter Merrilees. Because when I started Smyth, it was Smyth against Van Diemen, and we're definitely not enemies now, Ralph and I, we're real friends. But for many years it was a war. Peter Merrilees helped Smyth, but all in all, I can say motorsport generally is a fantastic sport. You can leave stuff in the pits, leave stuff anywhere. I've never hardly known of a theft, which is in this world fantastic. So we must at heart be good people. We all want to win, but we all in the end of it are genuine good people. You smash something, somebody helps you fix it. The next race he wants to beat you, but that is life. So all of us here are here for the right reason. We've had great lives, especially me, I'm bloody old. I've met so many lovely people. And as I say, it should carry on this way, because this is what the world should be, happiness. All of us can be biggest enemies out, but here we're friends. So, fantastic night as usual. The festival was magic for me, because back in 1990 when Coyne won it for me driving the Swift, he couldn't come tonight, unfortunately, Dave. Would have loved to have been here, but he's got a bad back. Unfortunately, he's got a bad belly as well, because he's too fat. But all in all, I'm really pleased to be here. It's an honour to be here. It's been very, very good to me, but I unfortunately always put jelly deals first. If I hadn't put my fish business first, I might have been a bit quicker, but I wouldn't have had so much fun. So thank you everyone for inviting me tonight. It's a privilege, and I'll pass to the next man now. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Frank. We'll hear a bit more from you in a minute with some more quick-fire questions. Josh Smyth, obviously lovely to have you back, and you know, delighted to see you.
He's too young to be a legend. I mean, he can be a legend. These guys who are in their 60s can be legends. I'm not used to being in their 20s.
Go on, Josh, respond to that.
Yeah, I probably am, you know, low the average age by about 40 years by being up here. You know, I'm the only one up here without a walking stick, pretty much.
What are your reflections a year on of that win last year?
Yeah, obviously it was mega to win the festival for the second time. You know, the Oldfield team put an awful lot of effort in, and it was nice to do the job. It was stressful, you know. Didn't manage to quite enjoy it for quite a long time afterwards. You know, with about 5 protests against the win, but we pulled through in the end, which was nice.
And it was a special one. I mean, I think this year it is as good, if not. You know, it's got to be equal to last year. Obviously, we celebrated Garrett last year, and it was special that you had the 200 number on the car as well. And that momentum from last year has continued, hasn't it, into the entries we've got this year. I mean, make no apology for repeating that on the stream earlier on, but real strength and depth in entry this year.
Yeah, it's mega to see such a competitive field as well. You know, it's so tight at the top of the, you know, in that top 10, you can sort of barely split them with a hair. So it's great to see such a competitive edge, and then not only that, you know, good size grid, you know, 4 heats, it's mega.
If you could pass down to Martin. Martin, I was going to ask, seen any of it today? What are your thoughts on what we've seen thus far just from the 4 heats?
Well, obviously Aaron are going to win it, aren't we, lads? You know, the boys are all up there at the front, pushing on the front row, so you know, it'll be hard to get past the Irish lads, but they're obviously the few dark horses on the way, and if we get a nice dry Sunday, I think we're for a very good day's race in the semi-finals and final.
And we've got the progression races as well for those who maybe had spins or non-finishes. Andy, sorry. Hope you get it sorted out. But yeah, looking forward to it. One of the questions I was asked was, will we ever get you in some form in the car at the festival?
How much does it pay? That's the first one. I think those days are behind me. I mean, I first raced here in '81 in a Crossley 32F. And then Rolfrey kind of let me in '81, Van Diemen for '82. We finished, I think, 12th in the final. Those are my memories, but this one we had 200 cars competing for the grid. Guys were having their drive shafts off, bearings out, recreasing them, doing their valves and cylinder heads, grinding them in, so anything to try and get 10th. But things are a lot more modern these days, or they've just got lazy and it's easy.
Nice one, Martin. If you could pass down, we'll have a quick word with our next guest. First one with Brian Graham. Brian, obviously 15 years of Team Canada, but great to have you in the car. What made you come and take part?
A very stupid decision, really. After 15 years of coming with the Team Canada scholarship, this is an event that I watched when I was a kid, and to come over here and be part of it with the scholarship was, great memories. And then I thought, well, now I'm old and I'm fat, so this is the time that I should drive at the festival. So here I am.
It's great to have you. And any thoughts on today?
I had a lot of fun. I've never been a great qualifier in my own career at home. I'd rather just get on with racing, and I had a great battle with Mike Fitzgerald, and a lot of fun. Obviously humbling, but I knew that before I got off the plane here that it was. This is a tough field. It has been all these years.
Yeah.
And watching guys, and now I've been on the track, with Niall Murray, who I hold in high praise. That guy's awesome. He is so much fun to watch race. And many others. Like when you come here. At home, you go to certain races and there's 5 or 6 guys, that are really, really quick. You come here, there's 30 or 40, and it's a tough weekend. It can be cruel, but the good days are make it all worthwhile.
Well, it's made it worthwhile you guys coming up here, and you in particular, Brian. Thank you for that. We'll hand the baton on to Rick Shortle, and days gone by, someone who's had a lot of good moments here, I'm guessing. Rick, lovely to see you. Still involved in racing, which is great to see, and thankfully through social media we get to follow what those of you who are still active are doing. Any golden memories for you from Brands Hatch and the festival?
Well, not too many of the festival, but I had a good year in 1985, I believe. I'd been run by Rob Creswell Racing in the 84 Reynard, and what a wonderful car that was. Rob Creswell Racing was spot on with his setup. He knew exactly what you needed in a car. He'd ask you what was wrong, then he'd go look at the corner and find out exactly what was wrong. But that was a year when I honestly felt I would get on the rostrum. I was fighting against Hill and those sort of people, fastest laps. But unfortunately, in the semi-final, I think Butcher Booth punted me off, took another 12 off at the same time, and so that was the end of my festival. But apart from the festival, there's so many memories that I have, because Formula Ford 1600 is just one of these things that if you fall in love with it, you never fall out of love with it.
Yeah.
And our driver, Ben Powley, who was a championship winner in the Mazda last year or the year before, I've been coaxing him and asking him and wanting him to do Formula Ford for the last 2 or 3 years. I managed to get him into a 1600, and now, could you get him out of that? You never will, because he loves it. And I'd like to thank Ben and thank him for how well he's doing. He's only had a year, and my God, he's doing so well.
Nice one. Thank you very much, Rick. If you can pass down to Bernard. Bernard, successful driver, and obviously very successful team owner as well. Which would you say out of the two gave you the more satisfaction?
I never actually thought of that one, but I don't actually have any satisfaction now in terms of driving, but actually have great satisfaction trying to coach, bring on the young kids, young drivers, and that to me now is probably more satisfaction. I probably do get more satisfaction out of that now than actually doing driving. To pass on that sort of knowledge to, as you know, I'm very into I love 1600. And if I can bring on that passion to other people, hopefully they'll stay on in class, and the class will grow. So yeah, no, I think actually now much more running drivers is more satisfaction.
Nice, thank you for that. Right, we're going to pass the baton back along the line in a few moments, but one of the things we're doing today is looking back to the first Brands Hatch Festival in 1976, and we've managed to sort out, I don't know whether it's too early to do the link, but hopefully we will be able to get this going. And basically, if any of you were here in 76, it was actually my second meeting at Brands Hatch ever, so very young, and I remember bits of it, but I remember things like, I've still got the race programme. It was a tribute to James Hunt the year he won the Formula 1 World Championship. We had Shell Sport Formula 5000 on. And I think at the sharp end it was a mixture of two drivers called Derek who were getting stuck in with each other. One being Derek Warwick, and the other one being Derek Daly. And hopefully, by our video link, we're going to have a chat with Derek Daly this evening. So a really nice thing that Alan and the team have organised. So we're going to have a look at the screen and hopefully get to say good evening and happy anniversary to Derek Daly. Let's have a round of applause for Derek.
Well, hopefully you can hear me.
We can, can't we? That's great. Derek, how are you?
I am great. I'm glad to see the house is full. It would have been nice to be there with you, but I'm so glad to see the house full at Brands Hatch again.
It's great that you've been able to join us. What are your memories of the festival those years ago?
Lots of great memories. That was a remarkable weekend for me for a lot of reasons. The car that we built was a prototype that Hawk decided they weren't going to build. I didn't have a car at the time because I wrote mine off at Mallory Park 3 weeks earlier. They said I can use the prototype car. We put it together with bits and pieces from everywhere around the Hawk factory and went there. And in the test day earlier, the test day leading up to the weekend, Kenny Gray was the fastest. He was in the Royale. He was just faster than everybody in the dry. However, come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it rained cats and dogs, and the Royale was no longer the fastest. I had a car that was easy to balance, and it just turned out to be the perfect conditions for an Irishman to splash around in the rain. And I think I won. I believe I won the heat, the quarterfinal, semi-final, and the final. It was a remarkable day. All the Irish people were there. All my family were there. It was a great day.
Is there any truth in the rumour that Derek Warwick had a bit of sour grapes and said that you nicked all the best bits for your car that weekend?
Yes. Completely true. The funny thing is, Hawk, at that time in Formula Ford, Royale, Crosley, Hawk, there was a big fight between the factories, support for young drivers who potentially could win. And Hawk, that L15, which was the standard car that we raced all that year, Derek Warwick was in what was, I think, the DL17. I was in a prototype that was never going to be built, so there was such a mixture of cars that it created a problem for Hawk, because when we finished first and second, nobody knew what car they were going to sell the following year.
Oh, wow.
But Derek Warwick and probably David Kennedy were the two fastest, in my opinion, consistently the fastest in Formula Ford that year that I had to race against, and everybody was there for the fest. It was one of those magical times. And some of you in the room may remember, that was the year that James Hunt became world champion. So the Formula Ford Festival was actually called Tribute to James, sponsored by Marlboro in celebration of James Hunt's world championship. And James Hunt was actually there to present the trophy which was obviously a big thrill. An even bigger thrill is because the festival became a stepping stone, because a year and a half later, which is hard to believe, a year and a half later, I qualified for my Grand Prix debut, qualified 15th at Brands Hatch, beside James Hunt for the British Grand Prix. So I've got lots of great ties and great memories for everything that happened to me at Brands Hatch.
I never realised that the time frame was that close, that tight, but as you say, very much a tangible link to Formula One. Tell us a little bit about your years in that top level. Any moments that stand out? Any stories that you could maybe relate from your time at Grand Prix level?
Oh, lots of memories that stand out. If you YouTube Derek Daly Monaco, you'll get plenty of information about what happened in Formula One. But for me, for Formula One, I was in it for 5 years before going to America. It was in an era. It was a magical time era, because it was back in the Ronnie Peterson, Mario Andretti, James Hunt, Niki Lauda, Clay Regazzoni era. I mean, there was a romance and a magic to that era that I'm so glad I was involved in. My year with Williams didn't go as well as I wanted. I just spent the last 2 years actually capturing all the details of Formula One for an upcoming autobiography, which is out next May, I believe. In the UK it comes out. But lots of great times, and it led me to America. It led me to a television broadcasting career. That led me to a keynote speaking career. So I have nothing to complain about. I had such a great time and a great life in the sport. And a lot of us, we all look for milestones. Young drivers look for milestones of things that happen. Brands Hatch Festival success was a milestone for me, because it led me to Derek McMahon, a Donegal businessman who had a great interest in the sport, who said, "I'll help you get to Formula 3. Formula 3 was the championship at that time. The British Formula 3 championship was regarded as the #1 championship in the world. If you could win that, you sort of got a real good chance to get at least a test in Formula 1. And I managed to win that at the right time. And I was in Formula 1 so fast. It was incredible. But one of those milestones was the festival weekend at Brands Hatch.
Well, Derek, thank you ever so much for joining us today. Really appreciate you giving your time, and wonderful to see you. Hopefully we'll see you for real one year rather than on the screen. It would be great to welcome you back. Ladies and gentlemen in the Kentagon, give it up for our 1976 winner, the first winner here at Brands Hatch, Derek Daly.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thanks very much indeed, Derek. What a nice thing, 50 years ago, incredible to think. We'll ping the microphone back down into it. Before we do one more question, we've got another presentation to make, so who wants to make the presentation, the next one? It looks like votes for Martin Donnelly to make the next presentation. 2, 3, or Frank. Should we go Frank do it? Frank's done one already. Okay, so next presentation. Thank you very much, Frank. The next one again is for a massive contribution to Formula Ford, but also in terms of what goes on here at Brands Hatch, and more specifically focusing on the festival. So I don't know whether they're listening, but this award, as a thank you, goes to Carol Taylor and team. Hey. We should start a chant, shouldn't we? Carol, Carol.
We want a speech?
Yeah, we want a speech, definitely, yeah. Nice photo opportunity. Yeah. Thank you, Frank, for doing that. We'll need to grab a quick word, Carol, if we may. You've lost your voice.
Thank you very much.
That's all we wanted, wasn't it? Carol, thank you very much and your team. Fantastic stuff. Okay, difficult question to finish off with, Bernard. Time-wise, I'm conscious you've all got the rest of the evening to enjoy, and we haven't had as long with you as maybe we would like, but less is more, as they say. What next for the festival? What would you like to see?
Okay, I'm in a bit tricky situation. I obviously got two very quick drivers. As you know, I ran Neville, Jason's father, and Neville won the festival when I ran it. So it would be very touching, probably the first team to run a father and son and then win the festival. But that would be very interesting. Plus also Niall Murray, which I won the festival, Niall Murray. So I'm in a very sort of envious but a difficult situation because I've got two very quick drivers. So yeah, wait and see.
Multi-21 tomorrow?
Well, we tried multi-21 last year. We look what happened. So we won't go there again. So.
But a good answer in terms of potential winners there. It's
you know, listen, you need a lot of luck in this event.
Yeah.
There's some very, very quick drivers, and sometimes not necessarily the quickest driver will win, but it needs to stay out of trouble. And hopefully, as Rick said, if the weather is dry, we should get great racing. But yeah, so wait and see.
Fingers crossed for tomorrow. Thank you very much, Bernard. Thank you for that. Rick, is there anything about the festival you'd change? I mean, what could we do to make it better, or?
No, I think, particularly this year, it's got so much slick, there's more cars, it's getting bigger and bigger as it should. Compare it to 1980, obviously we've got a bit of a way to go, but it's still becoming better and better every year. So I don't think you need to change. What needs, if it ain't bed, don't change it. You know, it's a wonderful end of season. It's nothing like the Formula 4 Festival. There's nothing like seeing all drivers, all types of drivers. And I'd just like to say, when I first started wanting to race Formula 4, I remember coming along to Brands to see the festival, and I was a guy that started late in life of my racing, and I never knew about the festival, I never knew about anything. And I stood there with David, my brother, and watching Ayrton Senna, Rick Morris, and lots of other top drivers, and I thought, there's no bloody way I can do that. It frightened the life out of me. And since then, I even spoke to Rick Morris last year in Silverstone, and I said he's always been my legend. You know, I always thought he was the best, and I still think so. And for someone of Rick's age, he is absolutely fantastic, and I don't think he deserved to have a spin today. If he had kept going, he would have certainly have been up there tomorrow. So thank you, Rick, for all the years of racing. You are a true legend.
Nice one, thanks Rick. Shortle. Rick talks about a spin there. I'll put a spin slightly differently on the question. Assuming if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Brian, what do you think is the best thing, or one of the best things about the festival?
The competition, the quality of driving. I love the format. The knockout system, and that it puts a big premium on no mistakes. And the only thing that I would change is move it to July, a little warmer. But other than that, it's the greatest Formula Ford event in the world.
Nice one, thank you very much indeed. Martin, you're nodding along there. Anything that you pick out as...
Well, I was just like to say, I've been coming here since 1976.
Yeah.
We brought a young Irish guy from Ireland who hadn't got 2 teeth rubbed together, a guy called Tommy Byrne. I think he's driving a Hawk or PRS back then, and he threw the car into the transporter that my father's friend hired on a bus. I remember him saying to Tommy when they're packing up to go home, because they drive back up to Stranraer to get home, he said, young lad, he says, get all your schnitzel together and throw it in the back of the bus. We're going to Kentagon for a beer and we're going home. And so I said, no, he said, sod that. I says, I'm going to stay here. And obviously got to meet Angie and Rob Ferber, Angie from Kildare, keep my works drive. I think it was in 81 or 1980. And then Senna was here in 81. But then back in Brazil they had house servants, and Senna was married when he came here in 81. And they had house servants that wash their clothes and do their food, and she didn't like the English weather. So when the 4 championships were finished, he went back to Brazil, and Rolf couldn't get him to come back because the wife wouldn't let him, right? So he gave the drive to Tommy. So Tommy drove Senna's car, won the festival, that led to the televised 3 event, and the rest is history for Tommy, you know. So great times, great opportunities, and again, you can see from Derek's day that the Irish have supported this festival year in, year out, and
Definitely.
I think it's their turn tomorrow.
Again, the other thing I was going to say with Tommy Byrne, if any of the young people in there listening haven't seen the Tommy Byrne film, it's a must-watch, isn't it, for racing? So if you haven't seen it, check it out, please do. And the book as well, yeah. Put it on your Christmas list, early thing to do there. So, Josh, favourite bit of the festival, favourite element?
I would probably say one being the competition, obviously, you know, like I was saying before, reiterating how high the standard is of drivers at the sharp end, but also counter to, you know, moving it to July, also the different elements, you know, in terms of the weather. You know, the weekend throws everything at you, so you're not just tested in the dry, you're tested in the wet. You know, freezing cold, bringing the tyres in, you know, sometimes it can be warm. It's because of the time of the year, it's just so changeable, so you have to be at your A game in all conditions, and ultimately that's what, you know, the best driver of the weekend normally wins. You know, he's kept his nose clean, he's performed in all conditions, hence why he's at the sharp end, and he's, you know, managed to bring home the bacon and take the win.
We've had a bit of that today, haven't we, already?
Exactly, yeah, exactly. And, you know, in my eyes, you know, the lads that have won the races today are generally the best lads at it, so I think that's 3/4 of them, yeah.
I think that sets us up nicely. Thank you, Josh, for
thank
that.
you.
And quick final thought on our last question.
I think the greatest thing about the festival is real motor racing. It's not technology.
Yeah.
So it's old-fashioned, real, let's go car racing. Everything else in car racing nowadays is basically a computer. You sit on a computer before you drive a car, you go through everything else, and then you drive the car. These, you get in the car, you make it go quick. So it's real racing. And it's still at a, let's say, a slightly affordable budget. It will never, no, motor racing will never be cheap, but it is slightly affordable, it's real, and you have to beat someone, you don't beat a computer. So, it's pure. Technology is a wonderful thing. I'm bloody too old to do most of it. But the thing about it is, with this, you feel it's drivers worthless drivers. So it sorts the men from the boys, really. It's not how much money have you got to buy the best. Buying the best here, I'm not saying it doesn't get you the best, but it will not make you win. It will only help you. Everything else now, if you haven't got the money, you don't get on the ladder. To get here, you need a smaller ladder and more possible, and a chance for the future. It's still people still watch the festival. It's a brilliant thing. So continue forever. All my lifetime, I want to come to the festival because it's such a fantastic event. Thank you all for coming.
You'll be welcome, and all 6 of you will be very welcome to come back. We've hit the hour. I want you to give a very warm round of applause to Brian Graham, Martin Donnelly, Josh Smyth, Rick Shortle, Frank Bradley and Bernard Dolan. Also to Alan Bowles for setting this all up. Thank you, Alan. For Digitex for filming, and for everybody at the Brscc for sorting out the technical side, and for you guys for listening. Have a lovely evening and enjoy the rest of the festival. We'll see you next year.
Don't forget, all come back next year.
Please do.
Be more hungry.